Okay, so um all right, hello everyone, welcome back. Welcome back. I'll tell you what, this feel good to be working again. Shoot. My holidays was good, Larita. I was so ready to get back to work though, but it's been hard because my house is still covered in boxes. I am thinking about hiring someone to help me unpack. Um, I'm a little weary about doing that though. But I kind of want to hire somebody to help me unpack because I'm not making no leeway. I got my kitchen done. Now, granted, I only been here for a week. And this is a big old house. I got my kitchen done, but I ain't got nothing else done. And I'm like, I'm searching high and low for clothes. I thought I had all the William clothes unpacked, but they're not because he's missing a bunch of clothes. I realized this morning. Where are all your clothes? So, you know. Hi, Angel. Okay, so I'm back here now. I'm going to upload part 1 of this video to YouTube today. So, everyone back? I'm going to get started. I want to continue on with my story. Let me hydrate. I don't know why this is so wobbly. I need to adjust it somehow, but I'm not sure what I need to do. Let me do something to it. Okay. Back to my story. So, for those who are just joining me, my name is Sarita A. Foxworth. I am an author and a Christian love and life coach. This is part 2. So I was walking you through what your life looks like when you're taking leaps of faith. My 2019 was filled with leaps of faith. Everything is intertwined, and I'm sharing my business with y'all so that you can be inspired to take your own leaps of faith. Step out of the boat. Whatever boat it is that you're in, step out. Because when you do, you can walk on water. In other words, when you step out of a boat, you can do a miracle. God can work a miracle in and through your life. You will see the power of God. You will see the miracle working power of God when you step out of the boat. Now, I don't know what leap of faith he wants you to take, but whether it's a small or a big thing, it's important to get moving. So I was walking you through my 2019 was I promise, I think I'm just going to term that. My year 2019 was amazing. So the first leap of faith was writing a book, right? And then the last leap of faith that I'm getting to, I'll just walk you through it. So the first leap of faith was writing the book that I was very nervous to write, and it was called The Prophetic Woman. That was my best, it's not my best seller, but I sold out of pre-orders with that one. That was the first book I actually sold out of pre-orders. Second leap of faith was having my very first event, which was not a free event. It wasn't a low budget event. It was a high-end spirit-filled event. So that was pretty significant. And then the area that it was in. It was an oceanfront event. It was in Virginia Beach, Virginia. And most people don't come to Virginia to go to women's events. So the fact that I was doing that, and of course the people like at the hotel was like, you could do this here every year. I'm like, yeah, I know you would want me to, because people don't usually do those types of events in Virginia. Not high end, not praying and talking in tongues, and not women of God. So it was a pretty unique thing to be doing in the location where I was at. So I had my first live event. The third leap of faith was that I left my 9-to-5 and I stepped into full-time entrepreneurship. In other words, I work for God full-time. When people say, what do you do? I work for the Father. That's it. Why did you move to Atlanta? For my church and because God told me to. That's it. I love Atlanta, so I thank God that he let me come here. But yeah, everything that I do, my life is revolved around just doing whatever God is telling me to do. Being led by the Spirit and saying yes. but everything was a setup. Okay, so the book writing also led to my most successful months of business, which led to me even being able to leave my 9 to 5. Okay, now that I'm making enough income to pay all these bills and more. Left my 9 to 5, and then I'm able to move. Now, why am I able to move? I was able to move because I don't work for nobody. So I don't have to wait to get a job to relocate anywhere. I don't have to wait for a start date when it's time for me to find a place to live. My choice of where I decided to live was based around the school for William. So if you don't have kids, you don't even have to worry about that. But my decision making concerning my area was not a job to drive to every day. It was the school, and it was the church. The church was first and the school was second, even though we have to go to the satellite location because we are far from College Park. But the areas that are close to College Park were not the type of areas I wanted to live in. Now, I'm still learning Atlanta, so maybe there's an area that I just didn't discover that's close to College Park that's nice. But from what I had seen, I was like, I don't want to live there. So we're going to go to a satellite location, and my baby, we're close enough to the school that I'm going to have to be taking him to. Because I wanted him to go to this specific curriculum. It's called Abeka. Abeka is a Christian curriculum. It's also it was created for homeschooling, which means that curriculum is perfect for small class sizes. So whenever I found a school, number one, they had the Abeka curriculum. Number two, they needed to have 5-star reviews. So if the school had 3-star, 2-star reviews, I didn't even look at it. If they had 4.5 stars, I would go and read every single review to see what was the 1-star review, because depending on that 1-star review, whatever that person said, I would not even look any further. I mean, the reviews are like gold if you are not familiar. If you don't have referrals or if you're not familiar with the area, I make a lot of decisions based on the reviews, but I actually read them. So I don't just, you know what I mean, I actually read, especially with something as important as that. Let me tell you, and this is like a side note. So, you know, when I was looking at the schools and I was looking at the reviews, some of the reviews, if I saw a review that had the word bully, whether it was a teacher bullying, most of the time the people that would talk about bullying were the alum. So the children that used to go to that school would talk about bullying. I'm not even interested. Then if I would read the review and it would talk about how dirty, some of the reviews I read were like the school was dirty. Not interested. If I read a review and somebody gave them a bad review just because they didn't get a call back, and people would do that. They never enrolled their child there, but they reviewed the whole school with 1 star because somebody didn't call them back. Why are you messing up that school's reviews? You never took your child, and just because somebody didn't call you back, don't mark the whole school down with 1 star because you didn't get a call back. So that kind of stuff, I'll be like, all right. That's why I have to read every single review. But what I have learned is that expecting a 5-star review, like nothing but 5 stars, is not asking too much. I used to think it was asking too much. But the school that I had him in Virginia, that's how it was. I was like, ain't no school this perfect. But it actually was. It had nothing but 5-star reviews. And then when I went, the same thing that the other parents were saying was the same thing that I was saying. Because all of those 5-star reviews were what I was experiencing. So they were legit. When there's not one person who had anything negative to say, for real, because the school really was that good and you're not asking for too much. So since I learned that lesson in Virginia, moving to Georgia, I was like, if I need straight 5 stars, if y'all ain't got 5 stars, I'm not taking no chances. I don't care how nice you are when you answer the phone, how pretty the school look on the pictures. I don't care. If I see parents saying all these negative, because people will say, my child came home with marks, scratches, my child fell, my child got sick, all these things happening. That is a warning. So my child could be the next one that fall, come home sick, and get hurt. Nope. So, reviews are gold. So I found a 5-star. I found a school that had 5-star review, and it had the Abeka curriculum, which is a Christian curriculum, because that's what he was using in Virginia. So he should be able to pick that up. And of course, when I visit the school, it's important because it's a preschool, but it's a daycare. So it don't need to smell like diapers. Okay, when you walk in, if I smell diapers, to me that's a red flag. I shouldn't smell nothing because it should be clean. But you be surprised, you go walk into some of these places and I used to think it was normal. I used to think it was normal for a daycare to smell like diapers. And when I went into that last school he was in, I was like, wow, I don't smell anything. It doesn't smell like diapers in here. And she was like, why would it smell like diapers? I said, every other daycare I went to smelled like diapers when I walked in the front door. Anyway. So, why am I telling you that? So the book, retreat, leaving my job, and then moving. That's why I was telling you that. So the Lord kept showing me and leading me, like pulling me that I needed to move, right? That I needed to move to Atlanta. And now that I left my 9 to 5, there was no reason why I couldn't. I thought it was money, but it was not money. The provision is already there. For those of you, and I'm gonna do a little side note, a little plug real quick for the 6-week group coaching program. For those of you who are eyeing the 6-week group coaching program, and you're like, I don't have the money, you may not have it, but then you may. Don't use it as an excuse if you actually do have it. Because if God has led you here, and if you've been here for quite some time, you know my heart, you know my spirit, you know that I can help you. You just need to go ahead and make a leap of faith and invest. Number one, it's going to come right back. So it's not like you're going to empty out your account and then you're going to be homeless and you're not going to be able to eat. No. When you invest in something, God is going to take care of you. It's an investment. Also, there's a class in there called Manifesting Money. So I'm not just saying that it's going to come right back, but I'm also going to teach you on how to manifest more money in your life. Also, when I personally have invested to work with somebody that had the answers it is that I needed, and I knew that I could trust them and they could help me, it always was a blessing. Now, one time I regretted it, but the investment was low, which is why I also believe in most of the time, this is not always a guarantee, but most of the time when something is higher in, you should expect better results. So whenever I've invested higher in, meaning $500 or more, I've always got amazing results. The only time I regretted it, I only invested $100 and it was for a 4-week program. And that should have been a sign, because no program should last for 4 weeks and only be $100. That is a sign. Because whatever you're about to give me, it should be worth more than $25 a week. I can get on Google and get my own information for $25 a week. So I like this program. I logged in for the first week and I watched 15 minutes of her coaching, teaching, whatever she was doing. And I logged out and I never logged back in again. That was a waste of my $100. But whenever I have invested more than that, I've invested in something high end and it's always been worth it. So I want you to know that when you make a decision to invest with me in any of my high-end stuff, whether it's a coaching program, whether it's a treat, it's going to be worth it. It's also going to come back. You're not going to be going into foreclosure or filing for bankruptcy just because you invest in a high-end coaching program. I also know that I am called to women who are blessed. I know how much my stuff costs. So if you know what I mean, could not afford it, this is for because there's some of you who have signed up partially, but you haven't finished enrolling. You wouldn't even have started the sign up process if you couldn't afford it. So you just need to go ahead and finish enrolling. Okay, stop being scared. Stop being hesitant. Take a leap of faith. Step out of the boat. It will be worth it. You will not regret it. I can promise you that. You will not regret it. Okay, so moving to Atlanta. I wanted to tell y'all something else about the move. What was it? It was the signs that I was getting from God. I was having the visions, brushing William's teeth. I saw the clock, and I felt like that was telling me it was time. I was talking to you about family. Family, of course, was hurt. Whatever. It's like I have family in Atlanta, and I have family in Virginia. So, and I got friends in Atlanta. So my friends and family in Atlanta are super excited on the receiving end, of course. The receiving end was like, yes, you're coming. We can't wait till you get here. I'm so happy. It's about time, blah, blah, blah. But then on the departing end, the people who were leaving were, are you going to leave right before Christmas? Yeah. Why should I wait? What am I waiting for? And I had my own personal reasons, which I'm not going to share with y'all, but there was no reason to wait. So I just needed to go ahead, obey the Father, and take the last leap of faith for 2019. Four major things. Now, with this leap comes increase. The cost of living is higher here. So as much as people would say Atlanta is cheap, I don't know compared to what is Atlanta cheap. And it also depends on where you want to live. Y'all know people used to always say that, especially like 10 years ago. People used to always be like, oh, for what you pay up north, you can get a whole big old this, that, and the third in Atlanta. And it's just not true. The cost of living is actually higher here. And you could get a bigger house, but you're also going to pay a bigger bill every month. So it's like, nah, you don't get stuff for dirt cheap. People used to make it seem like you can get dirt cheap. You probably could get dirt cheap if you were going to that type of area. But your girl, I can't live anywhere. So I don't want to be concerned about the crazy stuff that you see on the news. I don't want to be concerned about getting carjacked. I don't want to be concerned about getting robbed. And where I live, there's no concern. As a matter of fact, I think that if I was to accidentally leave my door unlocked for a couple of days, it would be okay. Because the neighborhood that I live in, not only the neighborhood, but the surrounding neighborhoods are nice, which means that we're all on this level, so ain't nobody trying to rob nobody. The issue is when your neighborhood is nice, but the surrounding neighborhoods are lower, and now they're looking at y'all like, oh, them over there got money, and we want what they got. So we trying to run up in their house, home invasion. We trying to run up on them at the gas station and take what they got because the people around you are lower than y'all, financially speaking. So, but when you live in a place where all of y'all are on the same level of living, nobody trying to run up, you know what I mean? We all driving something similar. We living similar. There's nothing that I have that they don't have. So nobody's trying to come and get what I got, you know? So I feel safe. Not only in my neighborhood, but in the surrounding, I live in Duluth. So for those of y'all who know about Duluth, I didn't know. I knew a little bit about Duluth. I knew it was safe. But when I got out here, you know what I mean, I realized this type of environment. The point is this. The point is that God wanted me to take this leap of faith. Everything go up, meaning all my bills are going up. But at the same time, there's faith. That's why it's called a leap of faith. I'm trusting God because God has called me here to take care of everything. I'm not expecting for God to call me somewhere knowing how I'm going to live. Knowing that I'm not going to downgrade. When I was good in Virginia. In Virginia, I was living good. So if I'm going to move, I'm still going to live good. But as a matter of fact, I believe you should go higher. I remember when years ago I wanted to leave. I said, I'm going to leave my job and I'm going to work full time. And I used to tell myself that whenever I quit my job, I need to downgrade everything for the fact that I'm quitting my job. It was a lie. Just because you're transitioning, if you're transitioning with God, God goes higher. Faith to faith, glory to glory. There's no demotion when you're following God. This is part of the way you can tell when it ain't God. God is not demoting. God is not going to call you to take a step down when you go to start serving him. If anything, he's going to elevate you. So I left my job and my living is the same. As a matter of fact, it's going to have to go up because the cost of living is higher than where I was in Virginia and everything here is going up. So everything else is going to have to go up as far as I'm concerned. Okay, Lord, you called me here. You're my provider. You knew how we was going to do it. So it must going to be blessed. 2019 was my year of taking bold leaps of faith. I wanted to give you some keys. Here are some keys. Number 1, you have to have an effective prayer life. Meaning you have to spend time in prayer and you have to know when God is talking to you. Because surely I can't say God is the one that told me to do X, Y, Z and be lying on God and God ain't told me jack and then I fall on my face. The Lord is the one who told me to do these things because they have all been successful. If it was not God, it would not have been successful. His hand wouldn't have been on it. It wouldn't have been anointed. It would have been a struggle. All of these things were clearly God. Here's another thing. I didn't rush and do anything, but I did take a little bit longer. Like, it should not have taken me that long to write the books that God wanted me to write. It should not have taken me, now, as far as the event, that kind of makes sense, and leaving my job makes sense, because All of those things built onto one another. What do I mean? I wrote the book. That becomes a stream of income. A stream of income to fund the retreat, because again, my retreats are high end, and as of yet, they're not income generating. So I have to pay for those retreats. Even with your ticket, I still got to come out of pocket. The book also becomes a source of income to pay my bills so that I could leave my job, right? The book also becomes a level of like an entry point for you to get started with me so that you can invest even higher. So the people who come to the retreat, most of them have read a book first. Most of the people who come to the retreat ain't just buy a ticket. Most of them have read a book, they did a coaching program, and they're like, okay, now I want more. I'm ready to go higher. This was so blessed. I'm ready to go and meet with you in person. The books are very, very vital, which is why y'all need to get y'all books written. And I do have a book writing challenge that's coming up soon. But anyway, so the book is it's like a platform, like a springboard. The first leap of faith. What is the leap of faith that God is calling you to take right now? That's not a rhetorical. That's not a rhetorical. What is the leap of faith that God is calling you to make right now? And I want to hear from y'all. I just told y'all all my examples. Leaps of faith are not going to come without nervousness, fear, not being sure. All of that is par for the course. All of that is a part of God calling you to something higher. When you step out of the boat, your foot is going to be shaking because you're about to walk on water. You don't step out of the boat like, oh, I'm stepping out this boat. Boom. You know what I mean? You shouldn't procrastinate. Oh, that's what I was going to tell y'all. So I knew that now was the time for me to move, because as I was wrestling it around, I was like, well, I could wait until the new year. I could wait until this. I could wait until that. I heard a teaching sermon, and my pastor, it was 100% about not procrastinating anymore. That message was for me. Then I was listening to a teaching by Kenneth Hagin. And in the middle of that, they started praying and prophesying. And I heard somebody start to scream, move, 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 move. In the middle of a message. The message was about hearing from God. Or I think it was about walking in the spirit or something. The message ain't had nothing to do with. But the prophetic word that was released was move. I was like, okay, Lord. That was for me. I got to go. I got to go right now. I can't delay. I cannot wait. I don't know why the Lord wanted me to move so quickly. I'm thinking maybe it's just because he wanted me to do everything it is that he's, at this point, there's nothing that I still have that I have not done that God's told me to do. This was the last thing that the Lord had been leading me to do that I needed to say yes to. This was the last thing. So now I'm looking for fresh instructions on what he wants me to do next. I've been writing the books. I moved at this point. I've had my live events. I know I'm supposed to do another type of live event, and I'm going to start doing that in 2020. But I'm like, at this point, there's nothing else. I've taken all of the leaps of faith. What leaps of faith is it that the Lord is leading you to do? And let me tell you, it's not going to come without being nervous. It ain't going to come without fear. It ain't going to come without a little bit of hesitation. But when you feel that final push, so all of these things were taking place, but I was discerning like a push, like Sarita, no more. Write the book, have the event, quit your job, and move. That's how I felt in the spirit. Like the Lord was, like every day I felt that. Like no more. No more waiting. What are you waiting for? Do what God is telling you to do. What is the delay? Get rid of all those excuses. There's going to be provision. There's going to be grace and anointing. There's also going to be help. When my business, end of year in 2018, my business only grossed $3,000. I ain't going to tell y'all what it grossed in 2019, but it's well beyond $3,000, okay? Because I'm living. My rent is almost that much. And I'm living off of that. And there was help, is what I'm telling you. The Lord connected me with a woman of God that was on a whole nother level than I was. To help me. Not to help me obey, but to help me in obeying. So as my feet are moving in obedience, she was there to help me with obeying. God has you here so I can help you to do some things. What is it that you need to obey God and do? And how can I help you? All right, let me see what y'all are saying. That's where you're at, LaQuia. A new career, writing a book, starting a business, make motivational videos on Instagram, promote myself and my brand more. Just do it, Gabrielle. You got to get that nervousness. You cannot let nerves run your life. You have to let the Holy Ghost run your life. He's supposed to be ordering and directing your footsteps, not your nerves. Nerves are a part of human emotion. Nerves are perfectly normal. But you cannot allow that to stop you. Once you're clear that you've heard from God, that's why the very first key to taking leaps of faith, bold leaps of faith, is having an effective prayer life, because you need to know that you heard from the Father for sure, and then you can move. You can relentlessly and boldly say, God told me. And you know what? A lot of times when people are ready to argue with you about what you're doing or talk you out of it, the minute you say, God told me, they usually shut up. Usually. Now, some people who don't know God, they'll still be like, well, I know you said God told you, but blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, am I supposed to disobey God? But the minute that people are like, well, why are you doing X, Y, and Z? Because the Lord told me to. What do you do, Sarita? I work full time for the Lord. I be so bold, y'all, with my you should see the looks on people's faces when they be like, what do you do? I work for God full time. Okay, and then I just keep talking. I know it caught you off guard. But why are you moving for my church? For what now? For my church, yes. I'm moving because my church is in Atlanta and I need to get close. Oh, well, that's amazing. Okay. I know. You don't know what to say next. I know. I live for the Lord. But we all should be that way. All of the biblical examples did whatever God told them to do. Abraham did all that traveling and moving around and setting up his tent here and there and all over the place because God told him to. No other reason. Noah building an ark. Noah, what are you doing? I think he built that ark for 125 years. You know, on year 30, year 60, year 80, year 90, year 99, year 120. Somebody was like, Noah, are you serious? Like, it ain't rain a drop. You keep saying God told you, and he did it anyway. He just did what God told him to do. David building the temple, just doing what God told him to do. All the disciples who followed Jesus, they shut their businesses down and went and followed Christ all over to do miracle signs and wonders simply because Jesus, God, told them, come and follow me. And they said, okay. So when people said, Peter, why are you shutting down your fishing business? Because I'm following God. God told me to. I'm sure people was like, Peter, are you serious? I mean, this is the whole business. You are so blessed. How you about to make money following God? Don't be scared to cook. Don't be scared to be stretched into all three jails simultaneously, saving and spending with the kingdom mindset. Take my public speaking business in a new direction to serve a specific kind of client. I'm nervous, hesitant. What can you do today? So I have a challenge for all of y'all. First of all, little boy, what are you trying to do where you need a pen? What are you trying to do, Willie?
I want to play a baby game.
Which game?
A baby game. I play with. No, not the icon thing.
Okay, well, show me the one you're trying to do.
This one.
That one? Mm-hmm. Oh, you don't have any space. That's why, because you keep downloading stuff. All right, hold on.
I keep all the time.
I keep deleting stuff so you can have space, and you keep downloading and downloading and downloading. All right. Hold on.
The TV.
Here's my challenge for
I
you.
like it.
For those of you who know career, business, speaking, somebody saying Instagram motivation, starting a business. What can you start to do?
Instagram on it. Instagram. Instagram for mommy. It's Instagram.
What can you start to do today?
Instagram.
What can you start to do today to get moving with what God told you to do? What can you do today to get out of disobedience? Because that's what you're in. When the Lord tells you to do something and you just don't do nothing. What can you do today to get out of procrastination? Now, if Sarita can make all of these spectacular, bold moves with God, so can you. Because I'm just like you. I'm a woman of God just like you. And I done walked you through my journey in 2019 with the Lord. Meanwhile, all of that was going on behind the scenes. Meanwhile, you would just see me jump on here and talk to you about breaking soul ties, girl. You would hear me talk to you about stepping into your purpose. You would hear me talk to you about prophesying. You would hear me talk to you about celibacy. But meanwhile, all of this stuff is going on behind the scenes. Meanwhile, I'm making all these bold leaps of faith with God behind the scenes. What is it gonna, what can you do? What can you do? Because I don't want nobody to say you waiting on God to do anything. If the Lord is telling you to do something, you don't need to wait on God because he's already done it all. Meaning he's already equipped, prepared the way. He already has a door of opportunity for you. You already have the favor. You already have the money. Show me the one because I can't find it now. Where is it at? It was the one you was looking for.
I would have this was here. And then your father here is.
Do it again. It should work now. Okay. Now it's going to download. Okay. Go sit down. It's downloading quick. Okay. Thank you for singing. Come on. What can you do to get into obedience and take a bold leap of faith? I want to challenge you before the year even ends. So I believe January 1st is on Tuesday or Wednesday. What can you do to end your year stepping out of the boat? Now, I was telling you there's a couple of keys to this. And the first one was having a prayer life and knowing that you've heard from the Father. You guys have put comments in about what you are saying God is leading you to do. So at this point, you have heard from God. You know that it is him. You know that it is his will. When God, the Father in heaven, is telling you to do something, it's so important that you do it. Because you're praying for God to order your footsteps, be the light and the lamp unto your path. You're praying for God to bless you. All of these things the Lord is trying to do. But when you are in disobedience, you are preventing. There's even blessings that the windows of heaven has for your life. They can't flow into your life yet because you're in disobedience. So the prime example is I'll go back again to the books. The books is one of my streams of income, but I have 8. The books are what pay my car note. My book sales are assigned to my car note. I drive a luxury vehicle. And actually, my insurance is going up. My insurance is going up like $60 a month because I moved to Atlanta. But no worries. No worries. Because the books are what pays for that. So all that means is I need to sell more books. But if I didn't write the books, they wouldn't be paying for that. I would have to, I either wouldn't be driving the car I'm driving, or I'll have to come up with that money some other kind of way. I had to obey God with that instruction, and then that leads to abundance. You see? You praying for God to send you more money, and he's telling some of you who said start a business. That business it is that you're supposed to start is supposed to lead to your abundance. You're like, God, I need more money. He's like, well, start the business and I can give you more money. I need a stream. I need a path. I need a way for the money to flow into your bank account. And it's going to come in a different way because you should have multiple streams, not just one. And there's a stream that is delayed right now. There's money with your name on it in your heavenly bank account, especially because I'm talking to women who tithe, you sow your seed, you're praying for a harvest. That seed is stored up in heaven, and that harvest is assigned to a stream of income that belongs in your life. It's the business. And once you start and launch that business and get it operational, now that harvest can flow. Whoosh. That harvest can flow. You're like, where's my harvest? I've been sowing my seed. But did you open up that stream that God has been telling you? Write the book. Start the business. He's telling you to maneuver with your speaking engagements and things like that. There's opportunity that's behind that. Favor and money. All the things you're praying for. How do you know it's God pushing you? You have to know when God is speaking to you and when he's not. And again, I'm going to refer you to the Single Woman's Prayer Book, because that is what I teach you in that book. How to get answers from heaven. I teach you how to have a prayer life where you can pray to the Father and you can discern if it's him speaking to you or not. I give you the 4 ways that God can and will speak, and I give you 5 ways to confirm whether God is talking to you or not. So if you are new in your walk with Christ, or you're just new in having a relationship with God and you're not sure when he's talking and if it's your thoughts, or you don't, your discernment is lacking and things like that, go and spend the $2.99 and get the ebook that is on sale right now at the link in my bio, so I can help you with that. That's how you know, because I can't go through the whole 5 ways. There's 5 ways to know. I can't go through the whole 5 ways to tell whether it's God talking to you or not right now, because that's not the topic of this. But you need to have a prayer life, and you need to know when God is talking to you. The next thing that you need, of course, is going to be boldness. I'm not going to teach about boldness, but I will say you definitely need to be a bold woman of God, because the things that God is going to tell you to do is going to be uncommon, unconventional. You're going to seem weird. You're going to seem strange. Now, there's other women like you who are going to relate to what you're doing. And to them, you're going to be inspirational. To them, it's going to be an iron sharpening, because they're also making similar faith moves. To them, they're going to admire what you're doing with God, because there's other people that are like you. But to the majority, to the people who are not on the same spiritual frequency as you, it's going to seem strange. It's not going to make a lot of sense. When I quit my job, a lot of people who don't know me, a lot of people came to me and was like, I hope you're going to be okay. I'm wishing you the best. Wishing me the best. Hope I'm going to be okay. I don't need your pitiful well wishes, girl. I'm blessed. I'm leaving because I'm blessed and because God is good. If he wasn't, I would still be sitting around here looking at you every day. The reason why I'm able to leave and give my resignation notice to y'all and chuck up the deuces is because God is good and I'm blessed. You don't have to hope I'm going to be okay. I'm better once I quit this organization, because now I can do everything it is that God wants me to do. And I could be the most blessed woman. Y'all are never going to pay me what God is going to put in my bank accounts. Y'all, the money that's going to come in my bank accounts is going to far surpass the highest pay grade in the government, because the president, did y'all know this? The president only makes $400,000. And he has called us in the kingdom to leave an inheritance to our children's children, which means we need to have money. We need to have way more than $400,000, and I'm never going to be president. So if he made that much and I stay with the government, that means I am never going to be able to make more than that. But if I go into entrepreneurship, I am going to be a millionaire. I don't need you saying, I hope everything works out okay. I hope you're going to be all right. Child, I'm going to be more than all right. I hope you're going to be all right. I hope you are going to be able to make it every day, when you got to come in here and look at people you don't like and do stuff you don't want to do and feel the pressure of trying to support an organization who's doing things that you don't agree with. They're making choices that blatantly, they are totally against your belief system, but you have to do it anyway. My mom, because my mom worked for the government and she works in HR. And a couple of years ago, probably about 10 years ago now, was when they started to do the whole domestic spouse, because they wanted to start to support same-sex partnerships. And they wanted to start to acknowledge these people who couldn't get married or weren't married, but they were in a same-sex relationship, and they wanted the same benefits as a man and a woman that were spouses. And you know, same-sex can't get married everywhere, so you can live in a certain state where you're not allowed to get married, but they wanted the same benefits as a married couple that was a man and a woman. And when that stuff was coming down, and my mom was in HR, and she had to start communicating and dispersing these benefits. She didn't agree because of her religious background, but she didn't have a choice, because you're going to work every day for a government system. Somebody else is writing your paycheck, and you got to do what you're told. Otherwise, what? They're going to fire you. They're going to take your check. You don't have a choice. So as much as she was like, I don't agree with this, my religious reasons, this, that, and the third, at the end of the day, she has to do her job, and she has to do whatever they tell her to do, because they are in control of her livelihood. So when people are wishing me well, I'm like, you don't need to wish me well, because I can do whatever I want. I can say whatever I want. I can live however I want to, because the Lord is in control of my life, not the government, not a government paycheck. Now, I wish you well, because you are having your life ran and ruled by somebody else. I wish you well. I wish you the best. I hope you'll be all right, because we're going to be good over here. As long as you're going with God, you are going to be just fine. But you have to know that it is the Lord, and you have to be sensitive. I want to say you have to be sensitive to the timing of things, but most of the time that's just an excuse that people want to use. I want to say that right now is the time to boldly do whatever it is that God has told you to do. Don't worry about the timing of nothing, because if it was the wrong timing, God wouldn't need you to do it right now. So don't sit there and say, I'm waiting on the timing. Don't wait on nothing. If God wanted you to do something 10 years from now, he will wait until 10 years from now to lead your spirit to make that move. If he is leading your spirit to make a move right now, it's because he needs you to make a move right now. Let's get going. Let's get going. It's more blessed to obey God than to sit into a situation where you're in disobedience. It's going to get hard, because going to work every day was getting hard. I was like, man, it's getting harder and harder to get up at 5 in the morning. I'm getting more and more tired. I'm more on edge. My emails started to get short and snappy. They would email me, and I would be like, what the? Y'all are getting on my nerve today. Sin. I started to care less, and it got hard. And I was like, my grace for this job is evaporating in the thin air, because I'm not supposed to sit around here for another 30 years, because that's how much longer I would have to work to retire. 30 more years? I'm already giving y'all 18. I got to work for 30 more years just to collect this little retirement. And the little retirement check would not cover anything, but it wouldn't cover mortgage. The little retirement check that they give you, it only would cover probably a car note. It wouldn't cover mortgage, though. I'm like, this is crazy. Y'all want to work? Okay, so I'm reading Janelle's comment. She said, I'm believing to let go of relationships, fear of losing people I want to be around. But if you're telling me let go, let go, let go. I lost one of my best friends right as I was obeying God. And I realized that is what is going to happen, Janelle. God has not called you to isolation, meaning some people are not going to understand, or some people are just not meant for your next season, but there will be people that are in your next season. So you'll never be alone, is what I'm saying. I lost one of my friends. I was writing a book. Her complaint to me on one of the last texts was that I call you and you keep saying you're busy reading or writing. Yes, I am. I was working a full-time job, taking care of my baby, and writing a whole bunch of books. And I was working on this business. I was coaching and all of that. So I'm like, I'm super busy. So if you call me and I don't answer it because I'm writing, it's because this is my allotted time to write. I cannot take this 1 hour from 10 to 11 p.m. that I have to write this book and be on the phone with you. That means the book ain't going to be written, but I'm going to be on the phone with you. And what are we talking about, by the way? We're not praying. We're not prophesying. You're not encouraging me. We're talking about a bunch of random nothing. You're my friend. The reason she's my best friend is because I had known her since 8th grade. So this was just one of those long-term friendships, right? But I'm like, you mad at me, and it was the off and on friendship, by the way. You're mad at me because I'm not making time for you, but I don't have time. My time for you is on the weekend. But during the week, my time is so limited, and I have to obey God. I got to write these books. I have to create these programs. I have to study my Bible. You want me, I'm like, if I tell you I'm reading, I literally was either reading or studying the Bible. You keep telling me you reading or writing the book. Yes, that's what I'm literally doing. How you gonna get mad at me for? She had to go. There was something she wanted to tell me, and I will admit, the thing that she wanted to tell me was a pretty significant thing, which I didn't know because I was just so focused in on what I was doing. Plus, there was a season where I was just going through a lot. There was a season where I had backslid, and I was just beating myself up real bad, trying to get myself together. And she was nowhere to be found. A friend, you were nowhere to be found when I was going through that. And if you were any kind of friend, you should have known that something wrong was going on. You should have been there for me. You were not there for me. And now that you're going through something, you're mad because I'm not there for you. I didn't even know you were going through anything, though, because I'm just so busy trying to focus on the Lord, which, by the way, it's not like I made no time for you, because I did. It's just that this specific time that you wanted, I refused to give you God's time. So I lost her. She was gone. She did all this fussing, all these long texts. That was the end of that. And I didn't have no problem walking away from her because of some of the things that we have been through anyway over the last couple of years. And then in this particular season, it was very important for me to spend that time studying, writing, and just doing what God wanted me to do. And a real friend would have understood that. So she was out the door, and that was fine because I have a friend who is still my friend, the one who I call my best friend. I've known her for probably 8-9 years at this point, woman of God. And we don't talk all the time because she's busy, I'm busy, whatever. But when we do talk, it is significant, meaning we talk about each other's families and we pray for each other. We encourage each other in the faith. She is supportive and I'm supportive of her. What are you trying to do, Willie? What you trying to do, William? Do you need help? Okay, give it to me. Tell me what you're trying to do. What are you trying to do? No, you gotta use words. I don't understand that. Use the words.
I like to push it down, push it down, push it down.
Press what down? Oh, you're supposed to swipe like this and pick a lamp. You don't want to do that? What do you want to do with these purple things?
Purple.
You supposed to, look at this. You're supposed to be doing this. Picking a lamp to put over here. I think, right? Or you don't want to do that. You want to do something else. And then you swipe right here.
I'm the other girl. A rainbow.
Yeah, it's a curtain right there. And move this out of the way.
What's that?
So, sometimes you have to let people go. But God is going to give you people who will be going into your next season and into your future, who will truly be a blessing to you. It is a God-ordained covenant relationship, and I really believe in those. I believe this woman was a God-ordained covenant relationship because she was trying to be my friend. I was so busy.
Mama,
Okay, you can get up. Go play. You want to go play?
No, I wanted to drink some juice.
What time is it? It's 4 o'clock. Okay, when I get finished on here, you be a good boy. When I'm all done, I'll give you some juice, okay? Okay, you gotta wait for me to get done now because I'm still talking.
Okay.
So, make that leap of faith, girl, and cut them people off and just trust and believe that God is sending you somebody else amazing. That it will be a covenant relationship. It will be a relationship that blesses you and blesses the other person. It's going to be two-way, reciprocated relationship. Yeah. And sometimes it may be hard. Sometimes it won't be. Like, it wasn't hard for me to let go of this girl because, like I said, the things that we have been through have been devastating the last couple of years. So, really, Sandy? Okay. Lost my job in October. Praying for a job. God spoke and told me he would give me the right job, be faithful. So that's where I am now. I started a business in the past, but a lot of people I want to go to Africa to do ministry trips. My mother gets scared, try to tell me to chill, but I know she's protected, but I get the opportunity. Yes, Gabrielle, you create your own opportunity. Let me say that too. You create your own opportunity. Don't wait. So figure out if God is leading you to go and do mission trips in Africa, figure it out and go. Don't wait on an opportunity. I have live events and I'm going to have a lot more starting this year. I'm not waiting on somebody to bring me into their church to preach. I'm creating my own opportunities. There's a message in my heart. God is leading me to do it. I have to say, yes, God. I can't say, well, Lord, when you send me somebody when you send me an opportunity, you want God to do everything. If God has to make everything perfect, it's not faith. You're not stepping out of the boat. You're waiting until you're on dry land to get out of the boat. God is saying, step out on water. It's not a leap of faith. If conditions have to be normal, somebody has to send you an email and say, hey, we're going to fund you to take this missionary trip in Africa. That doesn't require faith. Faith is when you go, do the research and book a flight and go. That's faith. Create your own team and go. That is what faith actually looks like. Faith is not, you know what I mean? Or you could, because, there's people who already go over there. So you could just sign up and go with them. Because you could make it easy for yourself. You know what I mean? You could just sign up and go. But what I'm saying is, whatever opportunity you're saying that you're waiting on, don't wait. Create your own opportunity. I'm glad it's busting you, LaKoya. PR Scott, you can't ask me anything in private unless you sign up for this 6-week group coaching program. Because I don't take, I don't answer a bunch of DMs from people who I don't know. Because I need a lot of information in order to help you. I actually care about you. So there's, you know what I mean? In order for me to help you, I'm going to have follow-up questions. I need to know a little bit more about you. And unless you sign up to work with me and we can actually have a conversation, I don't take these one-on-one DMs. So people are watching now like, I sent you a DM, you didn't respond. That's why. Because I don't know. I have more questions for you. Whatever you sent me, you didn't answer all my questions. So I have more questions for you, and I don't work for free. Neither do you. We both don't work for free, right? We both need to get paid when we are working. So you have to sign up for a coaching program, and then I can answer all your questions. You'll be with me in a private group coaching session. We're going to have 3 of them. No, we're going to have 2. No, wait. We're going to have 3 because I'm meeting with you every 2 weeks. And in those sessions, you can ask me whatever you want. As many times as you want. Because those are times for you to actually talk and engage with me and get all your questions answered. But you have to be in a program. So, okay, Vicky. So what is God saying to you? I know that you're saying you're over your 9 to 5. You think God is dealing. I don't want you to be thinking God nothing. I want you to know what God is saying. So my challenge for you is spend some time in prayer every single day and studying your Bible every single day so you can get clear about what God is saying. Okay? It does you no good at all to say, I think God is doing this and that. Who cares what you think? I want to know what is God actually telling you to do right now. And then that's what it is that you need to do. You done what? You in there pooping? Yeah. I got to go wipe his butt. All right, I got to go. That must be my cue. The life purpose class is not, no, that was a one-time class. People have told me it's not worth it. Okay, I can't read all y'all comments. I would love to, but I gotta go and take care of my baby because apparently he's in the bathroom pooping and I gotta go wipe his butt. You can sign up for the life coaching at the link in my bio. It says 6-week group coaching. Yeah, but let me say this, because I said that my grace for my job was lifting, but God had already told me I needed to leave. So my grace was lifting because God was like, you need to go now. That's different than you just saying, I'm tired of being here every day, but God ain't saying nothing to you. That's different. You might just be in your flesh. you might need to fast and pray so you can starve the flesh and feed your spirit so you can walk in the love of Christ. I'm going to say this and then I'm going to go. The other thing it is that I asked God, I said, God, I want to leave my job. Show me what assignment you have for me at this place so that I could fulfill that assignment so that you, Father, can release me. I asked him that a couple of years ago. Show me what you want me to accomplish. Who do you want me to pray for, minister to? Who am I going to be the light for? Show me what you want me to do here so that you can release me, Father. And he did. So you can ask him that too. While he's showing you what your assignment is, he's also going to give you an idea to set you up so that you can depart if that is what he wants you to do. So those are just some little nuggets to hold on to. Now I'm going to go and I'm going to upload this video on YouTube so you can go to my YouTube page and check it out later on. Yeah, but I am going to try to come back and be with y'all again tomorrow. I don't know what time. Bye.